Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about a new low for Honda, and to be very specific, a new 40-year low for Honda. That's right, 663 races ago was the last time that Honda failed to score a point in a top class MotoGP or 500cc race. It was in the French Grand Prix 1982. I was 3. So that is giving away my age, but it's also showing how bad the German Grand Prix was for the team. Now, let's be fair, everyone was suffering with the heat this weekend in the Sachsenring, and it was hot there. But, you know, for Honda or HRC to walk away from a weekend scoring no points for any rider is probably a huge shock. And I would say there is hair flying in Japan at the moment over this. 40 years since this last happened to Honda, and Honda controlled the last one as they boycotted the French Grand Prix. Now, what exactly happened? So, Paul Espargaro had a nightmare of a weekend. He had 2 offs on Friday and really genuinely did hurt himself. But he was saying that it was a mixture of fatigue and heat that was just too extreme for him to finish. Taka Nakagami threw himself at the gravel trap again, and was out of the race. Alex Marquez stopped with technical issues, and they have not explained any more than that. But the surprise for me is how angry and upset Stefan Bradl was. Now, Stefan Bradl has been a long-time test rider for Honda, very much so a company man, would not speak out about him, but he was very upset after the race because he felt that he looked very stupid at his home Grand Prix. Now, what he was saying was that he suffered extreme heat from the bike, and the first thing that he said is that the bike transfers heat from the body. So he was giving out that the aerodynamics on the bike do not suck the heat away from the rider either, and more so it actually pushes it up on top of the rider. But he was also saying that his hands and his feet, particularly his right hand and his right foot, were burning during that Grand Prix. And that is quite scary in the fact that with the heat that was there as they were going through the heat, particularly the right side was suffering because as they were leant over going through all the left hand turns, there was no airflow coming over the controls on the right hand side of the bike, and therefore they were actually getting super hot, so he couldn't actually touch them properly. It was just burning. So he's like, the heat coming out of the engine was just being transferred directly into the body, and that must have been absolutely horrendous to ride. Can you imagine just trying to touch your brake lever, doing the speeds that they're doing, and it's actually burning you? It is absolutely crazy. But I think a lot of this now is going to come back on Alberto Puig. I can only imagine the conversations that are going on in Japan right now. It's a highly embarrassing turn of events in my view for Honda. Something has drastically gone wrong with this bike in the aero department, never mind the chassis and what's going on there. But the fact that the bike or the riders can't deal with the heat is definitely very worrying coming into the height of the summer. That now I know it's only one race in Assen, probably will rain, but after that there's a lot of warm races to come. So it's definitely something to worry about, and I definitely think Puig is going to be under a lot of trouble or under a lot of strain now, having to deal with I suppose a lot of questions from Japan. But I'd love to know your thought. What do you think of that stat? 40 years, 27 days to be exact since they pulled out. 663 races, they have at least scored 1 point. that has come to a crash again. So it's quite, as I said earlier, embarrassing. But I would love to know your thoughts. What do you think of Honda? What do you think of this stat? Also, you can go to Motorsport Stats to look this stat up yourself if you choose to. But yeah, that's my take for today. Love to know your comments or what your thoughts are. Leave them in the comments below, and I will see you again in tomorrow's video. I just want to take a minute to also thank you for watching my videos and the support that you've shown so far. If you haven't subscribed already and you would like to subscribe, it would mean an awful lot to me if you did. I'm starting this channel realistically so that we can all enjoy MotoGP together, with the aim of streaming a live video when the GP races are on.